Welcome to another video. My name's Celia and I help people release their potential. Now in today's video, I want to talk about how our thoughts become things. Your thoughts create your results. Only 3% of the population actually intentionally use their thoughts to create their reality, the reality that they want. If you think about it, everything that's visible was once invisible. So a tree was not there at one point. It started off from a tiny little seed, a dot. Imagine your brain as soil. You can plant weeds or you can plant beautiful flowers. Whatever the seed is what's going to grow. You won't find somebody who's truly happy in life with negative thoughts. You know, if we think all these negative thoughts, then that's the life that we'll end up living. If you don't think you can run a mile, then you won't attempt it because you think you're going to fail. So you just won't do it. So somebody has to encourage you to change your thoughts, to change your thinking, for you to start thinking, actually, I think I might be able to run a mile. I could do, because somebody's changed your thoughts about it. You might look at yourself and think, oh, I'm not particularly pretty, but then if you get lots of compliments all the time, you might be thinking, oh, hang on, I do get a lot of compliments. So your thinking might change about how you view yourself because of what people have told you or because you've been offered modelling jobs. So your thinking will change and your results will change accordingly. This sounds quite basic, but for years I didn't understand this. Now that I understand this, I'm very conscious of the thoughts that I think. If I'm not achieving the results I want in my life, then I know it's my thoughts. It's not the results. So I can't blame the circumstances that I find myself in because I've created those circumstances through my thoughts. Some people may not like to hear this. I didn't like to hear it to begin with because I thought, well, hang on, I haven't made this happen. I didn't make that happen. This happened to me. Well, not sure that's true. If there are results in your life that you don't like, change your thoughts and watch as those circumstances will change. It's important to remember that we attract into our lives what we are, not what we want. And let me explain that. So there's a psychiatrist called Dr Thurman Fleet, and in 1934 or 35, he drew this illustration of how the mind works. His teaching was so groundbreaking. People used to queue up for miles to get to see him. The police would have to cordon off roads and traffic was just crazy. So this illustration is very famous. You may have seen this illustration used by Bob Proctor. He uses it all the time, and I totally understand why. It really helped me when I first saw this. And the illustration called the Stick Man. He explained our mind is split into the conscious and the subconscious. So the conscious part of the mind is the thinking part of the mind, where we rationalise things, where we have ideas and things like that. The subconscious part of the mind is the emotional part of the mind, where our habits are. We interact with the world through our 5 senses, so we see, hear, smell, taste and touch. Kind of like antennae. So we see, hear, smell, taste and touch. That's where our thoughts come from. So we'll hear something, we'll see something, we'll smell, taste or touch something. They cause thoughts. Thoughts are just energy. Like everything is energy. Energy is not created or destroyed, it just is. We are energy, we're made of atoms. Everything is energy, this is energy. And thoughts are no different, they are energy. Say you have an idea that you want to lose weight. You're thinking that thought in your conscious mind. It's only when you think on that thought again and again and it becomes repetitive, action takes place. If you just think, oh, I want to lose weight, and then the thought goes away and you forget about it, then no action happens, does it? You don't actually do anything about it. That idea needs to be impressed into the subconscious part of the mind. And the subconscious part of the mind is our emotional part of the mind. When you think about certain things over and over again, then they become real. You start feeling like, you know what, I am going to lose weight. I really want to lose weight. I'm going to lose weight. And then you start thinking more passionately. When we become emotionally involved in an idea, that's when it turns into action, which produces the results in our lives. You see, 97% of the population try and change this rather than this. But this is how it works. That's why some people are absolutely smashing it at life because they believe in themselves and then they're getting the results they want because it starts here. And other people are looking at their results and thinking, oh no, this is happening I can't. And then if we say I can't, and then we get emotionally involved in I can't, then those are the exact results we're going to get. We're going to live in a very limited world because we have limiting beliefs. You see, our subconscious mind, like I said earlier, is like soil in a garden. Whatever we plant, whatever the thoughts are that we plant and we get emotionally involved in, that's what's going to grow, regardless of whether those things are good or bad. Our subconscious mind is not subjective. Our subconscious mind doesn't discriminate. Whatever we plant, that seed will grow. Just like in a garden, the soil won't turn around and say, hang on a minute, that's a weed, I don't want that, and chuck the seed back at you. It's the same way with our subconscious mind. That's why it's so important to understand when we change this, we change this. The problem is so many people are looking at their results. If you don't change what's going on in here, then you're going to get the same results. That's why positive thinking alone doesn't work. If you don't get emotionally involved in what you're saying, then they will never be impressed into your subconscious mind. It's the subconscious part of the mind that we need to access in order for our results to change. How you get emotionally involved in something that you don't feel emotionally involved in is through repetition. So you say things again and again and you think on those things until you actually start believing those things. And that's when you become emotionally involved. So initially it might feel a bit like you don't believe it. And if you feel like you don't believe it, then those thoughts won't become results. So you need to get emotionally involved in those positive thoughts and those dreams in order for results to happen. You see, if we don't become aware of this and harness our thoughts, we'll actually be creating whatever we're thinking about and we get emotionally involved in. Like anxiety is just the emotion of a thought. So a thought comes into the mind, then we get worried and we physically can feel the anxiety. And that's when results can be pretty bad. We mustn't be focusing on our results if they're results that we don't want. We need to think on the things that we do want to see. That's why vision boards are great, because you'll look on those things again and again and again and you'll start believing those things, because the mind loves repetition. The more you look at these amazing dreams that you have, the more you'll start believing them. That's why any thought we think over and over again becomes fixed. And that's where habits come from. Habits are in here. Habits are born out of repetition. Sometimes you'll do something physically with your body and you didn't even think about it. It just happened. It's because you've done it so many times, it's become a habit. You might leave home for work one day and think, oh gosh, did I lock the front door? And you can't remember whether you locked the front door because you've done it so many times consciously that it's become a habit. You're doing it unconsciously in your subconscious. 95% of our day is autopilot. That's great for habits that we want, but if there are things that we don't want, we need to access our subconscious mind to change those things. The reason we live the same reality day in and day out is because we keep seeing and experiencing the same life. We keep experiencing and looking around and seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching the same life. So we keep thinking about the current results that we have. If we keep thinking about the same results that we have, we will continue to live the same life because that's all we're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. Those are the same thoughts. So we think the same thoughts, we have the same feelings, we live the same life. So in order to change this, we need to change this. And that's why we need to shut out all these senses. You know, meditation is brilliant. You start imagining the life you want to live. So you think outside the box. So you're thinking new thoughts. And when you think new thoughts and you look at a vision board, which isn't your current reality, but you're looking at a vision board, which is what you want to be your reality, you'll start seeing those things that were just on a vision board in your results. Because this is where it starts. When we harness our thoughts, we can completely change our reality by changing our thoughts. That's it. Even Albert Einstein said, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. It's the imagination that creates the results. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please comment below if you've got any questions. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye.